Revenge films.
I came home unexpectedly after my business trip was canceled one day and caught my wife cheating on me red-handed. I wanted to surprise her that day and quietly snuck into the house. When I peeked inside, they were just finishing up. Even worse, the guy she was cheating on me with was my coworker. I was frozen in shock. I could hear my wife sweet-talking to my coworker.
Oh, don't stop.
I don't know how long they'd been going at it, but they were getting ready to go at it again. I accepted my defeat and decided to just set a camera and go back downstairs. I must have been confused. I just started mindlessly making dinner. I tried to play it cool, but I was probably extremely stressed out. I must have unconsciously tried to get my mind off of what was happening by moving my hands. I didn't know how long this had been going on, but I just continued to prepare dinner and finished eating. It had been about 3 hours since I came home, and I finally heard their footsteps coming down the stairs. They went straight to the bath, so I got the camera and set it towards the bath. I could hear them having fun.
Hey, what do you want to do for our anniversary?
Do you have any plans? I'd love to spend the night with you.
I've told that shithead I'll be at a class reunion that day, so it's fine if I come home late that night. I'll just tell him that I'll spend the night at a friend's house that night.
I guess they've been having the affair for 2 years already. They got out of the bath, and the guy was naked as he carried my wife like a princess into the living room. I guess they were planning on fooling around there. But that's when they saw me. They were so shocked that the guy dropped my wife. My wife was dropped so suddenly that she didn't have time to brace herself for the fall. She hit her hip really hard and was moaning in pain. My coworker got onto his knees and started apologizing. I'm sorry, Jack. I can explain. What's there to explain? I thought to myself. All right then, take a seat. You must be tired after all that action. I sat them down and took their phones and wallets and left. I went to work and headed to the General Affairs Department and checked the guy's work shift. As expected, he had called in sick that day, so I changed it to say, cheating. The woman at the desk wanted to know what was going on. So I showed her the pictures and she accepted.
Could you give me a copy of that picture? Think of it like a doctor's note for a sick leave.
Her joke made me smile. After that, I decided to spend the night in one of the napping rooms at my work. I went out for dinner, and when I returned, I got a text from the guy. Your wife is in the hospital. Whatever. Why don't you go then? She had a miscarriage. Do you still not care? If she did, it's your fault for dropping her. How can you say something like that? It's your child we're talking about. How do I even know it's my child? Because she's your wife. That's almost funny coming from you after you cheated on that wife of mine. Oh, and by the way, I haven't slept with my wife in a while, so I'm pretty sure that it was your child. That's where the texts ended. I'm sorry, but I'm not the type of guy who can care about my wife after seeing all of that. I thought about blocking his number after that, but I had a better idea and decided to head to the hospital. As soon as I got there, I talked to the doctor in charge. Could you test to see if that was my child? The doctor looked surprised, but he agreed to it. After I gave him what he needed for the test, I left without seeing my wife. The next day, my wife's parents came over after hearing what happened. What the hell is going on? You promised to take good care of our daughter! Her father yelled at me, so I calmly told them, I was taking great care of her, but I'm sorry to tell you that it was your daughter who was cheating on me. Also, let me tell you in advance that we hadn't been sleeping together for over 6 months. Their facial expressions changed. What do you mean? They looked confused, so I explained what happened. They didn't believe me at first, but I showed them the videos. In a few days, the DNA tests will show that in fact, the child was not mine. After hearing me out, my mother-in-law's attitude changed.
Please, forgive her. Give her another chance.
She wept as she begged for forgiveness. I could understand where they were coming from, but I told them that I couldn't forgive her. My mother-in-law became angry after I told her that, but I wasn't the one to blame. I had had enough. So I played the video of their daughter cheating on me on full blast. You want me to just forgive her for this? You have no right to be mad at me! And my in-laws became silent. We're sorry. I can't hear you. We're sorry, all right? All right then. You guys can leave now. I'm the one who's in pain after being cheated on. 2 weeks later, my wife left the hospital. She was suffering after effects from the fall, and she was going to need rehab until she could properly walk again. So she attended the discussion in her wheelchair. I hired a lawyer and had my parents, my wife, her parents, and my coworker all come to the meeting. My wife was the first to speak.
I've been punished enough. Please forgive me, and please don't divorce me.
To which I responded, What do you mean you've been punished? You want me to tell everyone how you ended up like that? With everyone there, she couldn't fight back, and sat there and cried in silence. The boyfriend looked kind of pale too. Well, of course, they didn't want me to explain how he had been carrying her like a princess without any clothes on, and dropped her when he ran into me. So I got a divorce with my wife. No alimony, no distribution of property. I charged $30,000 in consolation to the boyfriend. On top of that, I couldn't live in a house where I had caught them fooling around. So an additional $15,000 for the down payment and moving costs for my new place. I heard that the boyfriend got divorced after that too. He had to pay his wife $50,000 in alimony and got remarried to my wife to take responsibility for what he had done to her. As for work, the lady at General Affairs turned in the photos, and he got fired from work. I received consolation from both parties and got my divorce. I was off to a new start. After that, my ex-wife was into her second year in the wheelchair and got remarried to the guy she cheated on me with. But he had cheated on her as well. So she ended up getting divorced for the second time and started living with her parents. I'm not sure of her exact intentions, but around then, I received a bunch of texts from her asking for another chance. I thought about changing numbers after divorcing her, but with work and everything, I decided to keep using the same number. She misunderstood that as a sign that I still cared about her and sent me messages like,
I want to get back together with you. I need you. I'll be a good wife.
So I decided to just block her. After I broke up with her, I had met someone new. I was already remarried and had a 1-year-old child. My wife takes great care of me, and I love her very much. I did block my ex-wife, but knowing her, she might try to contact me with a different number. So I figured it would be a good time to change phones. I've put her way behind me already. It's completely her own fault that she can't walk right now. So I have no sympathy for her. And I'm 100% satisfied with my life right now.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.